Driving the open road always gave me a sense of freedom, a chance to escape the confines of the everyday and lose myself in the rhythm of the wheels against the asphalt. But there was one stretch of highway that left me uneasy, a place where the line between reality and the otherworldly seemed to blur. It was a desolate road, winding through dense forests that seemed to swallow the sunlight. The trees stretched their skeletal branches overhead, casting eerie shadows that danced on the asphalt like spectral fingers. Every time I ventured onto this stretch, an inexplicable chill would crawl up my spine, as if 1,000 unseen eyes were watching my every move. One moonless night, as the engine's roar became my only companion, I noticed a solitary figure standing by the roadside. A hitchhiker, perhaps. My instincts told me to keep driving, to ignore the unsettling feeling in my gut, but a sense of duty prevailed. I pulled over and rolled down the window. The stranger's face was hidden beneath the shadows of a worn-out hat, and his clothes were tattered and stained. He asked for a ride to the next town, his voice low and raspy. Something about him sent shivers down my spine, yet I found myself nodding in agreement. As he climbed into the cab, a gust of icy wind blew through, carrying with it a scent of decay and dampness. I masked my discomfort with small talk, trying to focus on the road ahead. But out of the corner of my eye, I could see his fingers, pale and bony, gripping the edge of the seat as if he were holding on for dear life. With each passing mile, his presence seemed to grow heavier, the air in the cab thickening with an oppressive tension. The radio crackled, and a disembodied voice spoke in static-filled whispers that sent a chill down my spine. I tried to ignore it, chalking it up to poor reception, but the hitchhiker's gaze remained fixed on me, his eyes dark and unblinking. As we neared a particularly dense part of the forest, the atmosphere in the cab shifted. The hitchhiker's breathing became labored, and the temperature seemed to plummet. I glanced at the rearview mirror and nearly swerved off the road. His reflection was no longer there. My heart raced as I stole another look at him, only to find him fading before my eyes, as if his very form were dissolving into the night. Panic surged through me, and I hit the brakes, bringing the truck to a screeching halt. The hitchhiker's voice, now distant and distorted, whispered in my ear, "This is where it ends, driver!" Without another thought, I flung open the door and stumbled out of the truck, my breath coming in ragged gasps. The forest seemed to close in around me, the trees whispering secrets that I couldn't comprehend. And then, from the darkness, emerged a figure. The hitchhiker, no longer a man but a shadowy entity with hollow eyes. My heart pounded in my chest as I backed away, my mind reeling with fear. He moved toward me, his movements unnatural, a grotesque parody of human motion. I turned and ran, branches clawing at my skin, the thud of my heart drowning out all other sounds. I could feel him behind me, his presence growing stronger, his breath cold on the back of my neck. Adrenaline surged through my veins as I burst through the tree line and onto the highway. My truck was still there, its headlights casting an eerie glow on the road. Without looking back, I dove into the cab, slammed the door shut, and slammed my foot on the gas pedal. The engine roared to life, and I tore down the road, leaving the forest and the hitchhiker behind. My breath came in ragged gasps as I tried to make sense of what had just happened. As the miles stretched on, the weight of that encounter stayed with me, a constant reminder that there were forces beyond our understanding, lurking in the shadows of the world. That stretch of highway, once just a road, had become a conduit to something darker, something I had glimpsed but could never truly comprehend. Even now, as I drive the open road, the memory of that night haunts me.